Hi everyone, my name is Maryam AlTayeb. I hope you're all having a good day. This is my first type of YouTube-ish video, I guess. So forgive me for the quality. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to use Notion. First and foremost, I'm going to be sharing my screen so you guys can see. So first and foremost, what is Notion? Notion is an application. It's available for all devices, whether Apple or Android. And it's an organizational platform that you can use for virtually anything. Kind of a weird description again, but the best way I can explain it is this is like Excel or organizing on Excel, but on steroids. And I know that sounds really weird, but as we move along, you're going to see why. So first of all, let's go through the pros and cons of Notion. So for the pros, what I really love about Notion is that it's very flexible and versatile. It's not like a to-do list where you usually just use it for a to-do list. You can use it for virtually anything. But the con on the other side is that there's a very steep learning curve. So getting the hang of how to use the platform is a bit difficult if you don't have correct guidance, but I hope that this video is going to help make that learning curve a bit easier for you guys. Also in the pros, you have a lot of useful features, and genuinely you can organize anything you can think of, whether it's grocery lists, whether it's the gym, whether it's taking notes in class. You can genuinely do anything you can think of on Notion, which is why it's one of my favorite platforms in general. And time saving once a template is set. So what I mean by this is the same way I told you that there's a steep learning curve. Creating a template and figuring out how Notion works for you might take a bit of time. But with that being said, once you have a template set and that kind of gets the ball rolling, it makes keeping track of things very easy. It's just that initial work that you need to put in and that initial content that you need to organize that can be very time consuming. And so it's syncs between all your devices. So for me, I have it on my laptop and my phone, for example, and it syncs between them. But also, what I've noticed personally is that it's most user-friendly on a desktop device, so laptop, or MacBook, whatever you have. So with that being said, I think the important question here is, how do I use Notion? So just to give you guys an example, you type / and you can get a list of commands. So you can add text, you can add a different page. So if I were to add a page, this adds, let's call it new page, whatever you guys want to call it. The cool thing about Notion is that you do have templates that they already set. So for example, this is a meeting notes template. You can go to personal, travel, goals, etc. I'm not going to use, or I'll just click on any of them. Sure, like meeting notes. For example, use this template. So this is from an already pre-created template they have. And now if I go back to my what is Notion page, that's what I see here, a page. So it kind of opens like a page within a page within a page, and you can continue going on and on that way. So it's similar to having a folder on your computer. It's just a bit more versatile again than that. So again, if you type / you can see a list of commands. You can change the font, bulleted list. Toggle list is really cool. So if I type toggle, it's very useful if you guys are into note taking. So I can say 1, 2, 3, 4. So whatever you put under the toggle, if you click this, it instantly disappears. So it really helps you keep your notes organized if you are into taking notes. So those are just a few of the commands. You can also do a bunch of other things on Notion. You can add a quote, you can add a call out. Call out is just kind of like call out. It's kind of just a bubble where you can write something. And you can also change the icons, you can customize whatever you want for the page. So that's also nice as well. Now for the more important part, in my opinion, you have something called a GTD system, or getting things done. I'll link a few videos for you guys so you understand how to use it a lot better. So a GTD system is basically a system where you have an inbox that you put a bunch of information in. And from there, it automatically gets filtered based on the type of information you put. So instead of reading through this, I'm just going to show you. So let's say I press / and I want a table inline. Inline just means it's going to open up here. Full page means it's going to have a full page dedicated to itself. So I'm just going to call it table. column tags, I can add whatever I want. Let's say multi-select, sure. So this would be, let's say, a task. Tags would be, I'd filter this by, let's say, medical school, and my blog, for example. And I'd also have things that are, let's say, gym, just for example, MSA. So these are my extracurriculars, right? And instead of column, let's say I wanted to change this to date. So what's a task? What is it related to? And when am I going to do it, right? So this is our table. Now, that's my organizing criteria. That's what I want. So let's say this is task 1. It's related to medical school and my blog, and I need to do it tomorrow. And then I have task 2 that is related to, let's say, MSA, and I have to do this, let's say, next week, in a week from now, for example. So the important thing here is that you press / and you go to create linked database. So what that's going to do is it's going to create a database based on what you already said. So let's say tasks, this is what's called, sorry, my bad. It's called table. Yeah. So now this is linked to exactly what I put here. So now the second step is to organize this by filter. So let's say I want to filter this by date. So things I need to do today, okay, are going to show up here. There's nothing I need to do today. So let's say I have task 3, gym, for example, today. So you see, it automatically appeared here and it wasn't here before. If I create another linked database towards the same table, what is now shown? Let's say this time I want to filter it by is 1 week from now. Okay, so that would be the MSA task 1 week from now. And let's say I said something is due tomorrow, so that's going to be this, or sorry, this one. So it's going to show up periodically in that way. And so I hope that's self-explanatory for everyone. But I just wanted to show you how to do this because this was the steepest part of the learning curve for me personally. Okay, so with that being said, now let's actually go to how I organize this for medical school. So for medical school, I have different hubs, I guess you would call them here. So I have my productivity hub, which is where I organize my general tasks by this system. I also have another filter that's ASAP. So what to do now, I'll just click ASAP. Sometimes instead of putting the date, do soon. So this is exactly what I showed you guys with the tables. It's just organized in other subcategories. So now if we go back here, this again is the same principle. What I do is, let's say this is my pediatrics rotation, what I'm currently taking right now. And I have all of my sessions listed here. So with all of these sessions, I add, let's say this is a lecture, we're taking it this week, it's the type of session, this is when we're taking it. So this is my organizational criteria. The important thing here is lecture taken. So let's say I said that this lecture was September 2, September 1, and today is September 3. So when you go to the MedHub here, I have this linked database that's filtered by the date. So whether the lecture is today, tomorrow, or yesterday, it's automatically going to show up here. And why does it show up here, and why do I care about that? It's because once the lecture shows up here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check off the box. Properties. Lecture taken. Okay. So you see this checkbox here. So let's say this lecture we didn't take. Once I check this off, meaning that we took this lecture, what happens is that it automatically appears right here in the topics I need to learn, and I categorize this by, let's say, what type of content it is, whether it's a lecture, it's a BSc, or it's an SGT. So this is how I filter them. So that's the important part. So I filtered this by lecture checked or lecture taken is checked, okay, and first study is unchecked. So these are the topics that I need to learn personally, and I like saying learn rather than study just because it gives it a better vibe, let's call it. So let's say I studied intro to history taking. It's going to disappear from here, topics to learn, and it's going to go to the next linked database, which is first past done, meaning I already studied these lectures once, but I need to revise them again. So that's the algorithm I created for myself. That's the algorithm I created for myself, and that's what I find works for me. And it's a very easy way to organize your lectures. Again, it's a bit annoying in the beginning when you have to input all the lectures and all the content, but I have a template for you guys, so I hope that makes it a bit easier. So again, let's say I studied history. For example, it's going to appear here and it's going to disappear from here. Similarly, history taking, let's say, or this lecture, I second studied, I checked it off. It's going to go from first past done to second past done. And all of these are created the same way by doing / create linked database. But the filters are different. So this is lectures taken, and first study is checked, and second study is checked, but revision is not checked. Okay. So again, if I click revise, all the whole lecture disappears. I think I'm just going to undo. Just in these lectures yet, but that's just the general system. So for you guys, I have it in MedHub. Okay. So this is messages. Okay. So let's say this general template. It's the exact same thing here. If you guys pay attention, this is the filter. Block lectures, filter lectures today. So let's say I go to block 1. I go to block 1 lectures. And anything I input here is what's going to show up. Let's say lecture 1. It's given, I know it's not today, but let's say it's given today. So once you go here, it's going to appear immediately. Once you click lecture taken and you open block 1, it's going to appear here. So again, that's the same principle. I'm going to uncheck it. I'm just saying so you guys know how to use it in the future. Okay? Anyway. So I hope that made it a bit easier. For the to-do lists, I made it a very simple to-do list. So these are your important tasks. And these are the tasks you might do if you have time. So that's how I like to organize it. These are again the important links. For me personally, I would recommend your batch Dropbox, your batch YouTube channel, resources, any links that you need on a regular basis. This bottom part is weekly reflection. To be honest, I haven't really been using it as much as I should, but I thought I'd include it just in case anyone felt the need to use it, or it's a nice way to reflect on your progress, because I know progress is gradual and sometimes you get frustrated that we don't see that. The whole template, everything I organized on Canva, like for the artwork, because I found on Google. You would just put your year here if you're MBBS MS1 medical student, year 1, year 2, year 3, etc. This academic calendar is just where you can add everything. So I hope that was helpful. I hope I answered all your questions. Same thing for the parallel courses, by the way. Course syllabus, this is where I would usually just attach anything. Lectures taken, this is the same principle as the lectures taken for the blogs. And if it's today, tomorrow, or yesterday, it's going to show up here. And I use today, tomorrow, or yesterday for the parallels, specifically because I know the lectures or parallels we tend to forget about a bit more than blogs. So yes, I hope that was helpful. I apologize if this was a bit of a long video, but I hope I explained everything. And if you guys have any more questions, please let me know. And I'd be more than happy to help. Just a side note, if you're an Alfaisal student, we do have an institutional subscription for AMBOS. So that's going to be available for everyone. So the last part that I think I forgot to mention is how do you take this template and use it for yourself? If you just click on the top right corner, this is the link that is in the description of this video. Or if you access the link via anywhere else, just click duplicate here. And then it's going to make you log into your Notion. Again, I recommend you log in with your Alfaisal account, like using your Alfaisal email, because you're going to get Notion with more features just because you're a student. So I would highly recommend that as well. And so, yeah, again, it's taking a bit of time to load, but just after you do that, it should duplicate to your Notion and you can edit it and feel free to change anything you like. It will not change the original template. And that's how you use it. Thank you guys for listening. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Bye. Have a good day.